What a beautiful day to begin with. Thank you so much for being with us, and today I am going to review second season of much awaited Never Have I Ever. Before moving further with the synopsis of second season, let's recap a little bit. In the past season, we have seen that Devi is a daughter of immigrants and father has died, and they are going through so much emotional pressure, or like something like a pressure cooker inside her, and she's going through very tough time in the first season while she's having unexpected guest, her cousin Kamla, and moreover she has tough time in settling herself in the school, and there was a clash of opinion with her mother as usual, because Nalini, her mother, she has a lot of huge responsibility how to take care of this young girl at her own. So in the first season, you could see that they were trying to send the ashes away of their deceased father or her husband. And let's move what happened in the next season. There are plenty of new characters that we saw in the second season. So one after another, I will just go through with all those characters that I have just felt like we should really learn a lesson, life lessons from them. And let's begin. Starting from Devi's house, her cousin Kamla. In the first season, she came, so there was a clash of opinion between Devi and her. And Kamla really wanted to have a relationship outside her cultural boundaries, or what that circle that has been drawn around her. And she didn't wanted any marriage to be imposed on her, because that is the how the Asian culture works. But she really wanted to be a self-reliant, and she wanted to be a woman who has a career and goals and ambitions. That's why she went to the new lab and got a job there, and she has a very huge pressure at the work also. And you could see there are plenty of things that happen with her, and she could really relate that how a woman feel when she has a huge workspace barriers, or a lot of things that she could talk with Devi. That thing that brought them very closer to each other. The communication is more important, so that's why Kamala is there, and she can share her part of the story and her ordeal at the workspace and what she has to go through. But it's not important that you have to submit everything that the others really want from her. So that's why you could understand that she opened up about everything at the dinner table, and then Devi really liked that one. So now she feels that she is cool to talk about. So that's how this person is now being beneficial to Devi. Why? Because in the first season it was very hard for her to get along with her. But sometimes it's very important that you should have your loved ones around you so that you can talk to them, because Devi doesn't has a good relation with her mother. So, but there is another side of the story that you will also enjoy it. Nalini, and because being a widow, and especially she has challenges from her work environment, what is going on, she has to wind up everything, moving to India, and she went back, and now she brought Charu, her mother of her deceased father. Now it's very good that in-laws, how they have to be very kind to each other, how they understand, and that happened here also. Charu didn't impose anything on Nalini. At least she really played a very vital role, giving her the liberty or her choice to accept whatever is coming in her way, because the father is gone already, and now it is very challenging for Nalini to move on. And because Devi is a youngster, a young kid that doesn't want to digest whatever the mother wanted to do it. So she really met a new character, but she has to give up that relationship, because she knows that Nalini's action, or whatever her actions is, it will definitely affect Devi, and that happened in this second season also. And whatever the choices she make it, you have to watch it, and eventually she stalked her own mother. Why? Because she doesn't want her to feel left, and that happens. There are plenty of things that I really wanted to share from my experience also. So there was a friend of ours, they were very small at that time. They lost their mother, And what happened, the father didn't get married because he knew that the pressure that he has to face, because the children will keep thinking that we are forsaken now. Why? Because a new mother, a new husband will come, and definitely I will be left away from the circle that has been drawn by our father, like a family. So Nalini has to make some hard choices, but she has to prioritize the kids first. At the workspace with Kamala, Evans is introduced, and he's a little harsh with her, but somehow a situation will change, and you will find out that how Kamala will come out of that peer pressure she felt there. Due to a professional rivalry, Dr. Jackson doesn't get along very well with Nalini, but as the time progresses, they have to get to know each other. And the good life lesson that Nalini learned from him is just sometimes if you are upset and you have a hard, tough day, and your children keep on talking to you, instead of saying no, just say yes to it. And that really worked in her case also. And Devi was excited how her mother was really helpful to her. And that was a huge mistake she made it, but it was very good that in the end you can lean upon your parents instead of learning or leaning upon others. Now let's move to the aux. The most important thing during this time is Devi got too much support from these people. The first is teacher Kulkarni. No matter whatever your students' behavior is, you have to be very flexible with them, because okay, now there is a point that we really need to take with us. Okay, home is where you never been to or you never belong. Sometimes you feel like that. So your final and the last resort is school and the teachers. So teachers play a very vital role more than parents, because most of the times the students live with class and parents than the parents. So Kulkarni played a very huge good role here to teach Devi how to monitor herself for her actions, and how to be a little more flexible and more responsible for what you do. He wasn't harsh with her, and every time he tried to play a cool teacher. And that's what we really need to understand. Okay, the students, if they have a tough time from parents, at least they should have some mentor who could listen to them. And aside from him also, there was a good thing is that Kamala is really attracted to him also. She really wanted to meet someone not being imposed on her. I believe that counselors, they are really very helpful. And if you have someone very important or very closer to you who is a good listener, who could really guide you very well, something like Kamala, someone like a teacher Kulkarni, you don't need counselors, because if you have good mentors around you, they can guide you what you really need to do it, what your action should be. And Miss Warner plays a very best role, listening everything that she did. But really, because the way she is handling things, the way she is judging and doing all these things, it is just because she just felt like she lost her place in the school. The Ox has a new guest, that's Anisa. So Anisa is a transfer student, and Devi 2.0 version of Devi. So she felt like she is bit cooler than how she is, and felt like her space in the class is being ignored now. Why? Because everybody is getting along with her very well. And the bad thing is, the principal asked this girl to be friend with Devi. Oh, you got a frenemy, and that's how the things started. Because at that the same time, she recently broke with Ben, and as Anisa came, she get closer to Ben, and the jealous Devi did her level best to create a chaos, to create a rumor, and how the things brewed up. You have to watch it in the series. It cannot be summarized very easily. What happened and how things escalated. That Anisa was almost like a made her mind to shift to another school due to that controversy that been escalated by Devi. Though Ben broke up with Shira, and then what happened in the second season, you could watch by yourself. But with the passage of time, you could see that this rich brat is becoming very mature, trying to understand the things, trying to understand other cultures also, being very kind to the parents and parents of Devi also, and whomever he meets. But it doesn't mean that this nerdy guy doesn't has a sense what's happening. Plenty of times Devi made mistake. She started keep on judging people and trying to play mind games so that she can get attention. But sometimes it is best to be contented with what you have and what the decisions have been made by someone. So you have to move on so that you can stick to one. But greed is dangerous, not for yourself but for others also. And sometimes if you will keep on traveling in two boats at the same time, you will lose yourself, not the boats. And that happened with Devi. As Ben is moving on with Anisa, now they are getting closer to each other, and the jealousy brewed up at there. But during that time, she also went closer to Paxton, and Paxton is okay. He's same like ordinary guy. He's not from a rich family, so it was very easy for her to get along with him. But sometimes she really wanted to stick to her past to grab her boyfriend, so-called boyfriend, because Ben was once closer to her and Paxton was as well. So Paxton is not good at school, but at least your good actions help someone to develop himself. So Paxton now trying to change his educational credits. So he did really very well, and the credit goes to Devi because she really helped him in certain way. Whereas you can see some situations Devi was really looks like she is isolating herself from both of them to make up her mind where to go. Because once she see Anisa, then she really wanted to go to Ben. But later she didn't even pay importance to Paxton also, ignored him several times. That's how the Paxton actions will definitely be like that. Last not the least, her friends. Eleanor played a twist with the liver. So liver got twisted and now she's into Malcolm. This Hollywood guy recently came and he has some attitude. But now as he get closer to Eleanor, she thought that her friends are not very happy with her relationship. Sometimes it is very important not to judge others but step back, listen to the situation and then consult with your friends, because your friends will never ever be wrong with you. And what happened with Eleanor at the dance party, you could also understand that her own actions, instead of what the friends said it, but at least her own actions, she should understand. She has to reflect upon what the things are happening right now, and suddenly she is very optimistic in switching from Oliver to Malcolm, and you will really enjoy what happened at the end. And last not the least, Fabiola. She came up with her orientation and that she has someone, but the important thing is that she really wanted to compose herself. She doesn't want to come out with how she is, so she didn't introduce her partner to mother. But whereas you could see that sometimes miscommunication create a huge gap, but at the end you will see that how her mother react to her partner. It was very a good decision that her mother made it, because she really didn't want her to create this pressure in her child's life. And I hope you will really enjoy all these characters. Overall, it is good to learn from some cross-cultural experience and how the things are happening here. And you could see there are versatile actors from different ethnic backgrounds and migration history also. And overall, Mandy Kaling giving us an image of that how we should open our hearts and souls to accept each and every individual who comes in our door, and whether in the shape of Anisa, whether in the shape of Ben, Paxton or Malcolm. at least we should encourage to be who they are and what we are. Have Fabiola as well, also Eleanor as well, also they have different family, different stories, but in the end what keeps you happy is where your home belongs, and that's how you should really feel comfortable with the people you are living with. I hope you will enjoy the series. Is good, and hoping to see the next season what different and new will they will bring. So thank you so much for bearing me, and have a great weekend. Take care, loved ones, and stay safe. Bye bye.